Hi everyone, and welcome to this critter tutorial bite for oxygen not included. As always, make sure to check out the critters tutorial bite if you haven't already for an overview of the critter and ranching mechanics. This critter tutorial bite is about pips, which are very useful cute critters. Pips live in forest biomes, which is the starting biome for some maps. If you're playing a temperate or swamp start though, they are more tricky to get. In the Spaced Out DLC, you'll be able to find them on another planetoid, needing either the teleporter or rockets. But in the base game temperate start, you'll need to get a lucky care package from the printing pod, otherwise you'll need to get them from space. They need to be brought back from a living planet, meaning you need to use petroleum or even hydrogen rockets with a biological cargo bay. For information on how to do that, see the base game rocketry tutorial bite. Pips have two morphs, the Pip and Cuddle Pip. They're quite similar and are mainly different in their diet. Both can be used for wild planting or sustainable dirt production, and Cuddle Pips can be used to boost egg incubation. Pips aren't commonly farmed for meat, as they only drop 1,600 kilocalories of meat on death, which is half of a hatch or slickster. Both Pip morphs live to 100 cycles old, and have a livable temperature range of -30 to 70 degrees Celsius, so within the safe dupe range. And both can be easily moved by being wrangled by dupes and then taken to a critter drop-off. Jumping into the detail, Pips can climb on walls and ceilings, and eat arbor trees or thimblereeds. If Pips are fed thimblereed, then the chance for them to lay a Cuddle Pip egg will increase. When fed, they excrete dirt at 20 kilograms per cycle, so a full ranch of 8 pips can make a sustainable 160 kilograms per cycle, which can be very useful. Cuddle pips are very similar to the normal pip, except that they can cuddle dupes and eggs. To help them with this, they also only need 4 tiles of space each, so in theory you can fit 24 of them into a ranch. Note also that they eat slightly more than pips, but produce less dirt. For a dirt producing ranch then, this simple design is perfect in a 4x24 stable. Fortunately, feeding them is fairly easy, as pips can plant seeds to make wild plants. Using arbor trees in this way would need 3 wild trees for the 8 pips in a full ranch. You could use 1 domestic plant instead, but you would need to provide polluted water for this. Auto sweepers are used to collect the dirt and excess eggs. Remember to disable auto harvest in the harvest overlay when feeding pips, as they eat the plant itself, not the lumber or reed fibre produced. If you replace the arbor trees with thimblereeds, you would need 13 plants to feed 8 pips. This 32x3 ranch though will make Cuddle Pips, so if ranching them for dirt, then you'll need 2 plants per Cuddle Pip. This means the most you could fit with wild planted thimblereeds is 16 plants for 8 Cuddle Pips, making dirt at a rate of 100 kilograms per cycle, less than the Pip dirt ranch. Cuddle Pips can also be ranched for egg incubation. As they only need 4 tiles of space each, you have space to put other critter eggs in the room for hugging. Most other critters require 12 tiles each, so I've chosen this ranch design as a good balance with 6 incubators and 5 Cuddle Pips. To fit these in with wild thimblereeds, the ranch can only be 3 high, and 10 wild thimblereed plants are needed to feed the Cuddle Pips. I've used timer sensors, not weight plates, to control the incubators, as the pips would walk on them and set them off. To quickly cover the mechanics, the Cuddle Pips will hug nearby eggs, including those in incubators. This gives a 5% incubation speed increase to the egg for 1 cycle, so it hatches quicker. Cuddle Pips can also cuddle passing dupes, and do this twice per cycle. They will look for a hug for 30 seconds, and if a dupe walks past, then they will cuddle, giving a 5% stress reduction to the dupe for half a cycle. For either dirt or egg incubation ranching, the incubator and drop-off design I explained in the main critter tutorial bite works well, and the incubators can even be in the Cuddle Pip ranch. The drop-offs in the dirt ranches are both set for 8 critters at priority 9, and the incubation ranch drop-off is set to 5 critters. To deal with the excess of eggs and critters, Much like the hatches, an evolution chamber is used. I'm showing here both evolution chamber designs that I explained in full in the hatch tutorial bite, so check that out for a full explanation. The only thing that's slightly different here in the airlock chamber is that the drop-off needs to be fully submerged when the airlocks close, as pips can walk on the ceiling. Compared to my hatch example, I have lowered the height of the critter sensor and put tiles above to make sure the top tiles get submerged. I've also filled it with more water than the hatch chamber. The layered liquid evolution chamber is already fully submerged, so is exactly the same. As a quick aside here, I wanted to show a simpler drowning chamber idea that I should have included in the hatch tutorial bite too. By putting a little bit of liquid under doors and putting the excess eggs there, they will evolve into meat when they hatch. The downside to this approach is that it doesn't deal with extra critters that hatch from the incubators when the ranches are full, which is why I didn't recommend it. Even though I said that pips aren't the best for making meat, a pip dirt ranch will still produce a little over 2,000 kilocalories of meat, or around 2,500 kilocalories of barbecue per cycle. Plus this is entirely free with wild plants and completely sustainable. Outside of the ranches, there are a couple more uses for pips that are worth touching on. The first and most famous of these is the pip planting of seeds to make wild plants, which I have already mentioned and even used in the ranch designs shown. It is a little complicated to do, and that is why I covered it in its own full tutorial bite, linked in the card, so I won't repeat that here, but make sure to watch that if you haven't already. And finally, the other key ability of a pip is to rustle arbor trees. This is the only way that an arbor tree can drop a new seed, so it's very important. Every time an arbor tree starts growing a new branch, it has a 5% chance of spawning a new arbor acorn hidden inside the trunk. Then a pip can rustle the tree to drop it to be used. To generate a lot of arbor acorns then, a submerged tree can be used to kill the branches quickly and automatically. Then, as long as there is a pip nearby, it will be able to rustle the tree as soon as a new arbor acorn is made. The tree itself can't be submerged though, so you need to use visco gel or 3 small layers of liquid. Making 3 layers with a tile gap in the middle is a little bit fiddly, and so I would recommend starting by putting tiles where the tree will go first. Then bottle empty a little bit of each of the 3 liquids in turn. Then you can have a dupe mop up 2 tiles along, as the mop command gets the liquid either side of the command too. Once this is ready, put in a critter drop-off and get a pip inside. And finally, a storage bin to drop off a single arbor acorn for the pip to plant. Now what you might have noticed here is that the pip can't move because of the liquids. This means a wild pip is better for this, as it will still lay an egg even though it has nothing to eat. But pips can oddly walk through liquids if the tile below the tree base is open too, and they have a tile to jump to. You do have to use 4 different liquids to make this liquid lock, and the idea is the same as I've just shown for 3. A setup like this can be used to plant multiple arbor trees for acorn rustling, and you can use domestic pips in here. Mass-producing arbor acorns is needed to make giant lumber farms with arbor trees. I will cover these in the arbor tree plant tutorial bite. Here's the one-take reference for these designs. To be clear, there are 3 different types: the Pip Dirt Ranch, Cuddle Pip Dirt Ranch, and Cuddle Pip Incubation Ranch. You can use any one of these with incubators and an evolution chamber for a complete setup. So that's it for this look at pips. I hope this helps you ranch these cute, useful little creatures, and thanks for watching.